What's up, data transformers? This is Bolaji, and I'm here with one of my favorite colleagues, Benoit. What's up, Benoit? We are here to talk about the new launch. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Yeah, super excited. It's the day before the launch that we are recording this, so the excitement is building up for tomorrow.
Yes, there's been a lot of work, man, a lot of work, all hands on deck at DBT over the past several months, especially the engineering team. Benoit, I want to get your live reaction before we actually release this as to how you're feeling about what we're about to do. But first, just to give people context, Benoit, could you give us a little bit of a background? What's your history in the data world?
I started to work in data when I was living in Australia and was working for a data consulting company where I discovered DBT for the first time. By the time I left that company, we were actually implementing DBT for nearly all of our customers. This technology changed the way we were delivering work for our customers in Australia.
Wow.
And then when I decided to move away from Australia to Europe, I applied to DBT Labs and I got a job. So
Woo!
then for the next 3.5 years, I've been part of the professional services team at DBT Labs. I've been working with some of the largest customers that we have, helping them get most of the value they can from DBT. So working with the companies that are really trying to push the boundaries of scaling DBT. And the latest news on my side is, I'm moving to a new role now in DBT Labs in the DX team.
Phenomenal. Now, Benoit, I've read all of the docs about what we're about to put out, but I want to hear it in your words. What are you excited about as we're about to make this big release?
Yeah, like there are several layers of excitement that come with the release. At first, I was a practitioner, a DBT user. I was building models, and in the past few years, I've been helping companies scale around DBT. But
yes,
I think that the release we're doing is going to be a longer journey with like excitement that comes already from the get-go, but also things that we're going to be developing a bit further. So the first thing I like is like the fact that we have like now some VS Code integration, some IntelliSense, a faster parsing. It is quite nice as a practitioner. But at the same time, some people, it might feel that things didn't change that much. Like, why is there such noise about like a few extra features? The key thing here is that it's like the analogy of we just changed the engine of a plane while the plane is still flying. So we didn't change the plane, but we changed its engine. We added a few bells and whistles for now, but in the end, like the big change that happens with this launch is it is the engine itself that we are changing. So that first excitement is getting it. Being able to show it to the world, but knowing that what we are showing is just the beginning of the journey. Then what excites me about what's coming next is we already know what we want to add to Fusion. We already know what we want to give to the customers and the community. And it's things like slimmer CI, for example, being able to only test the models that are actually impacted by our changes, or things like enhanced governance and the fact that we will soon be able to propagate PII between columns. And we know that this column has potentially some PII, so some personable identifiable information. And then we'll be able to like push it down until the last layer and be able to know that this report has some PII. So maybe let's be careful about it. And this is something that we'll be adding soon to DBT. And we know that now that we change the engine, we can change from, let's say, a plane to a rocket. So we can then start like to visit base, and we can add things that we always wanted to have in DBT, but we're not able to have before. The last bit that I'm even more excited about is what we don't know we will be doing with this new engine. And if we continue this analogy, okay, so we know that we can go to space soon, but what is even beyond that? We now have the universe for us. And I'm really excited to see what are the things we'll be able to do with the new technology that we don't even know yet we'll be able to do. Like I've been working, as I said, with a lot of customers around scaling DBT, around making it work at enterprise scale. And I'm very, very sure that this new product and this new feature that we are releasing, they are going to allow working in a much more efficient way that we can't even imagine today. So the future is very bright, and I'm super excited to see how people will take this new technology and then build amazing stuff on top of it. And I also really want to be part of this journey as part of DX. I want to also build tools that leverage this new technology, and I want to really make the life of analytics engineering and data analyst and overall data transformation journey like so much easier and better in the future.
Wow, this is a pretty big vision. I'd be interested to know now, after people get to actually see what we're releasing, they're excited, they're curious, maybe skeptical. They want to get their hands in on the product and really get their hands dirty. What are some ways by which people can actually engage and become part of this next chapter of DBT?
Yes, we have a few different events that are going to happen. So the launch day, we have also a few different events with a few different team members. So there is a web page we have on our website with all the different events that are going to talk about this launch case. So feel free to join those. And then a lot of things will also happen on Slack. So we'll have a big part of our team monitoring Slack, helping people who want to try the new technology. And we might have some questions about it, which also will be shared in those events. People can go there and we will engage with you if you want to try what we are releasing. Also, we also are going to do quite a few meetups in the next few weeks to discuss what we released. And so if you can attend those, I think that's also a great thing to do. I'll personally be going to Barcelona and Copenhagen to talk about DBT, but there would be people in also quite a few other cities in the world.
This is great. You know, Benoit, some of the things that you mentioned, I'm actually really excited about. I've been reading a lot about as technology continues to advance, whether it's in areas like artificial intelligence or others, there's more and more of a dependency on data. And yet, data trust continues to be an issue. So when you talk about enhanced and even scalable governance, that's encouraging. When you talk about more efficiency, that's exciting. What are some of your thoughts as to the future of the industry, even beyond DBT? We're a part of the data industry. But with this larger role that data is playing in our world, what does that mean for data practitioners like yourself and for the technology supporting them?
Yeah, like every part of the industry today, like AI is changing the way we work. AI makes data more and more important. So we see with LLMs that if we ask them questions about our data, it's very easy for them to hallucinate and give us answer that they think is correct, but is not. So for example, on my side, we'll have a lot more focus on things like semantic layer. I've been working with the team on the DBT MCP server on ways we can, with LLMs, then interact with our data. So in that case, having a data project in DBT with all the documentation about your columns, about your models, etc., and having a semantic layer on top of it allows you to ask questions to your LLM, and it can be in any tool that you use today. So it can be in Cursor, Claude, or even using other tools. You can then ask questions and be much more confident that the answer you get is correct because it is backed by a semantic layer and not backed by, let's say, some hallucination that the LLM might have had. But then in the data space and with AI and with like developer tools we are releasing, it means that we're going to be more efficient. And being more efficient means that we are going to also be able to have a bigger scope. So instead of having a backlog that grows and grows for new analytics we need to do for our companies or like new insights we need to find, I'm quite confident that the new technology that comes doesn't mean that there will be less people doing data. It just means that we'll be able to then do more analysis across our org and not just have a backlog that keeps growing and growing, but actually being able to do like more and more analysis faster and faster and still keep a very high degree of quality because with those tools, we can automate a lot of the errors that might happen in our code. We will have a lot of governance and scalability that will come out of it automatically.
Wow. All right, this is exciting. It is pre-launch day. So again, Benoit, thank you for hanging out with us today with the community. We're going to let you get back to your pre-launch sequence. And folks, be sure to join the launch showcase as well as the community AMA that comes the very next day. And hopefully there's a meetup near you that you can visit also. Benoit, senior resident architect at DBT Labs. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thanks, Bolaji. See you.